I'm Jocelin and welcome to episode 3 of Build Your Own Challenge Course on a shoestring budget. Today we're going to visit the tire shop. I'm going to show you how to build some really cool obstacles for your challenge course, all out of free tires. We'll show you how to build them, how to ride them, and how riding these obstacles can simulate some things you may encounter out in the real world of adventure riding. So let's go check it out. You may already know how to get free tires, but just in case you don't, let me tell you what I did. I went down to my local tire shop, told them I was going to build some things out in my backyard and I wanted some used tires. They were so happy to help me out. You know, they have to pay money to recycle the tires and dispose of them properly. So they gave me as many tires as I wanted. They even offered to deliver them. The next thing I did, because, then I wanted some bigger tires. So I went to my local tractor shop. We have a John Deere dealership in town. And I told them the same thing. I said, hey, I'm building some things in my backyard to ride motorcycles over. Can you help me out? And they took me into their yard where they had so many cool tires, huge tires. Some of them were too big for me. And they also had tracks, which now I use some of the tire tracks for my roller coaster, which we'll get to in a later episode, but tracks can be really fun. Anyway, they took a forklift and they loaded up my truck and my trailer, and off I brought tires over here. Another place that you can find free tires is a local recycle or waste area, such as your dump. Not telling you to go dump picking, but yeah, that's what it is. And of course, every time you change the tires on your car or truck and your motorcycle, well, save the old tires because you can put them to good use. Now I'm going to show you today 4 obstacles that I've made on my challenge course just out of tires, maybe some random wood or power poles that we talked about in the first episode. But you can do all kinds of things with tires. I've used them all through the challenge course. I have them with the roller coaster, I have them on my coffee grinder, I have a thing called the gut wrencher on the other end of the property. So the tires can be very useful, and it's nice when they're free. So let's go check out the first obstacle. The first obstacle we're going to have today is the tire row. It's simply a row of tires. A single row, you can do a double row, you can do a long row, short, whatever you want to do. Now I recommend when you're setting your tire row to just dig down about a couple of inches into the soil and set your tires. And then add some of the sand from episode 2 or dirt inside the tires, maybe about halfway. This helps keep the tires down when you ride across them. If you don't do this, they tend to flip up and ride up under and off the rear wheel and roll all over the place. And then it's just a mess trying to pick them up. Now, how do you ride the row of tires? So the tires are kind of set up to simulate rocks or rocky trail, maybe sticks, debris, branches that you might encounter while adventure riding. It gives a very similar feel. So to ride this stuff, I recommend a nice light grip on the bars, your weight back slightly, your legs, knees opened up, legs away from the tank to allow the bike to jiggle and dance without throwing you off balance. Of course, focusing on your exit at the end, and before you know it, you're all the way through. The more rigid the tire, the rougher the ride. The more sand and dirt you put inside the tire, the smoother the ride. So good luck with them. Let's go check out another obstacle. This is Gator Back. Gator Back is made of 2 really nice tractor tires with fairly new tread. I've dug into the ground a bit to set the tires and then filled the dirt around them and inside. Now, it was a bit too tall for the motorcycle to go over the tires without getting caught up in the center, high centering and getting stuck on the skid plate. So as you can see, I made a little bit of a ramp exiting as well as a ramp entering. And one thing I did, I took some telephone poles and some fence posts, cut them up and put them under the dirt, and then put the dirt on top, and that helps hold the weight of the big GS motorcycles and keeps the dirt from packing and packing down, especially after a rain. So I haven't had to touch the on or off ramps to this obstacle in the last year or more. So, oh, well, there you go. Storm's gonna test it out for us. Did I mention I have a stray cat if anybody wants one? The third obstacle I want to show you today is Gravedigger. It sounds scary, but it's really not. Gravedigger is just one big, wide truck tire, almost like a monster truck tire. And then we put some 2x4 ramps exiting and entering so that it makes it easier to get up and over. Same thing can happen. It's a little tall, so you don't want the bike to high center and get stuck on the skid plate. Now let me show you something we did inside. You'll see inside we have quite a bit of 4x4s and other random stuff in here. Well, that's because when I tested Gravedigger, it sunk in and the bike sunk with it, and of course fell off the side. So that is one thing about the obstacles that you make on your challenge course, is somebody's got to be a crash test dummy. In this case, it was me. So be sure to check your tires first and see how strong they are. And remember that the adventure bike is pretty heavy. So you may find that you want to reinforce the inside to keep it from caving in. So Gravedigger and Gator Back sort of simulate a hill that you might come across while adventure riding. It's a steep up and a steep exit. Maybe a rock, maybe a rise over a ditch or something, but they're really great practice. You may have heard I do have some cars on my obstacle course that we ride over. We're going to cover those in another episode. This tire here is great practice for riding up and over the cars. They have a very similar entrance where it's real sharp and up the front of the car, and then the exit is quite the drop off the roof onto the trunk and then on the ground. So we use these to practice the car riding. To ride these obstacles, I recommend kind of approaching them a bit like a hill climb and a steep descent. You want to have all your weight forward over the bars as you enter the tire. After you crest the top, let your weight carry backward towards the back of the bike and let the front end exit the tire. The fourth obstacle I want to show you today actually doesn't have a name. So if anyone has an idea what to name this thing, please comment below. I'm going to need your help. Now, this obstacle is directly following the off-ramp to Gravedigger. Okay, let's go ride the tire shop. I'll take you on my onboard camera so you can see how it looks from a rider's perspective. So as you can see, tires can be fun. So go get yourself a variety of tires and bring them on out to your challenge course that you're building and make some cool obstacles. And if you get time, send me some pictures and show me what you've built, because I'd love to check it out. Thanks for watching. I appreciate you being here. I hope you can join me for episode 4. We're going to talk about some cool obstacles that you can build for your challenge course out of free barrels. See you then.